Did you know the wellness industry is already far surpassed the pharmaceutical industry by a landslide? The economy of the wellness industry is $6.8 trillion, and the pharmaceutical industry is $1.8 trillion. Isn't that amazing? So what does that mean to you? And how do you navigate that? So welcome to Spa Life TV, where we talk about real health topics and how it applies to you and how you can bring that into your real life. Not some random shotgun approach of just bombarding you with information, because the information is out there. If you want to learn how to heal from something, you just open up your phone and talk to ChatGPT and ask, hey, how do I eat healthy? How do I eat like the paleo diet? How do I create a workout for me? Everything you need is already in there. It's not a matter of lack of information. It's a matter of how do you navigate that? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video today. What's most important to me is that you have the tools that you need to make it stress-free, to make it part of your everyday life and not stressful. Because when you're stressed in that fight or flight mode, in that survival mode, your body is incoherent. All of your cells are not working. Nothing is flowing right. What do you got to be able to be healthy? You have to be in the parasympathetic mode, which is what we call the Spa Life mode, the Spa Life method. And the whole philosophy is designed according to your original design. So the Spa Life method, which is this book right here, is based on your 7 senses. Your 7 senses are the doorway into true healing. They are the doorway into activating the parasympathetic. And it is not about luxury or some other, it's not just about luxury or vanity, or it's about how your body was originally designed to handle the stresses of life and to be whole and to have vitality and to be healthy. And apparently the world knows it, because if our industry and the wellness industry is already $6.8 trillion, can you imagine? Then how are you going to navigate that? And that comes in the form of prevention and longevity and beauty and fitness and spas and hot springs. Let's see, wellness tourism, wellness real estate. Yeah. Construction contractors and projects are starting to think about how can they make the homes more eco-friendly, more healthy? How can they, so wellness real estate. Mental health is a big one. Of course, weight loss. Let's see. I think I got all the good. Oh, nutrition. Hello. That's so important. That's where a big chunk of the economy goes. It's to healthy food. People want to eat healthy food and supplements and superfoods. And you put all that together, that is $6.8 trillion. And you've probably have felt the effect of the bombarding of information. You don't know, should you do paleo diet? Should you do a carnivore diet? Should you do Mediterranean diet? Like, how are you supposed to eat? Should you eat a certain way when you actually have a disease or a diagnosis? Or should you eat this way just to prevent? Or do you just want to throw it all up in the air and just say, whatever, I'm just going to eat the way I've always eaten. And then when something happens, I'm going to take care of it that way. So wherever you are on that journey, whether you want to get healthy for prevention or you're trying to get rid of a illness, this is a $6.8 trillion industry. And I want to make sure that it's not overwhelming for you, which is why I created the Spa Life method, so that you can understand how to get into that parasympathetic mode. Now, here was the most important thing that I wanted to share with you on this video, because this was key for me. When I've been in the health and wellness industry since before 1990. 1990 is when I became a massage therapist. I was also in nursing school, so I've been in love with health my whole life. And when I got into medicine, as a nurse, I realized I wasn't helping people get healthy. I was helping them not die. I wanted to reach them before they got into the hospitals. So I became a massage therapist. And that's how I paid my way through nursing school, and I fell in love with holistic health. Now, my husband and I started a produce delivery company, first to homes, bringing fruits and vegetables to their home so they can eat healthy on a regular basis. And then someone says, hey, can you get rid of the vegetables and bring me the fruit to my office? And that started our corporate fruit delivery. And from day one, that design was to help people eat healthy in the workspace, which is part of that $6.8 trillion economy today. So I have always been in the health and wellness space. It has been my passion. But when I had my own health scare, started with an ulcer that I just treated with taking care of the symptoms, which turned into a tumor and became cancer, ultimately rupturing my stomach, sending me on a long journey of healing. And when I went on that long journey of healing, thinking that, well, number one, I should have never gotten sick. How did that happen? Number two, which is why I wrote this book, so important, this would have been the key to not getting sick. I didn't understand that you had to be in the parasympathetic mode. I thought, you just take the supplements. You just exercise. You just go get a massage. You go see a naturopath. You do the things. Check, 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 check. I use the same hustle culture approach in real life into my healing, and it didn't work. So after my surgery from my stomach rupturing, I had a long journey of healing. And boy, was I overwhelmed. Supplements. At one point, I was taking like 80 supplements a day. Can you imagine? And it was overwhelming. It was impossible. It was a full-time job. And I was going to different acupuncture, chiropractor, naturopaths, different kind of naturopaths. And it was overwhelming. How was I supposed to get into the parasympathetic mode on my healing journey when I was so stressed out about just maintaining the schedule of wellness? So I created something called the Health Grid. And this saved my life because I was able to put everything that I was doing onto this grid, onto this chart, and keep track and live my life and follow this plan. So I'm going to share that with you right now, and there is a download in the description below for this health grid. So this is how you use it. When you just begin using it, you just track what you do. So there's a line like Monday. What did you eat for breakfast? What did you eat for lunch? What did you eat for dinner? And for every day. And then how much water did you drink for every day of the week? How many hours of sleep did you get every day of the week? Did you take your supplements? A simple check mark, because you can put your supplements in the notes section, right here in the notes section. And then the health grid is based on the most important thing. The way I created this was based on the blue zones. The blue zones are the areas around the world where the healthiest people live. The most centurions live in these blue zones. And so when I started to study the different blue zones, I said, what do they have in common? They all do this: food, fitness, fun, food, fitness, family, fun, and freedom. So it's food. We know we're tracking our food. Fitness, some sort of movement. And you chart what you did. Did you go for a walk, for a 20-minute walk, 1 hour walk? Whatever you did, you went on a hike. So you just track it. And then family will always be your priority. So you want to be intentional about making time for your family. Because if you don't make time for your family and you're on this health and healing journey, there will always be this low-grade stress. If you don't connect with the people that are most important to you, who more than likely are your family, then there will always be this low-grade inflammation. It's called like an existential angst. It's this gnawing ache because you don't feel close to your family. So you want to do that with intention. And then fun. Fun means you want to incorporate something into your life that brought you joy. That could be simply, I sat outside today in the sunshine and listened to the birds in the trees, and it made me smile. That's fun. Or I watched a movie, and I watched a movie with my husband, and it was a comedy, or whatever. So you just want to live with intention. And then the last one is freedom. It's freedom or faith. What gives your spirit freedom? What makes you feel light? Maybe you read your Bible. Maybe you listen to some music. Maybe something that lightens your spirit. That's what you put under freedom. So at the beginning, you track everything. And as time goes on, you begin to plan. So instead of tracking what you ate, you plan in advance what you eat. So that's the goal. I don't know, maybe 2, 3, even 4 weeks if you just want to use it to track. And then eventually you'll start using it to plan. And that, my friend, is living with intention. And when you do this week after week after week after week, you have a record. And eventually what you do here becomes habit, because ultimately you live by habits. Our organism, our body lives by habits. And so you want to create these habits with intention. And I often use the back of the sheet. So when you write down, like, I ate this for breakfast or that for breakfast, then I would write down, how did I feel about what I ate? Or you just jot notes down. How did this week go? Was this a good week? That way, let's say 10 weeks down the road, you're feeling a little off. You're not feeling so great. You can look back and say, what was I doing back then? And how did I feel? What was I doing back then that made me feel so much better than I do at this moment? So you use the back like a journal page. This health grid is more powerful than you could ever imagine. Because again, your body, your mind functions in habits. And when you use this health grid consistently, the things you do on here eventually become habit in your life. And that, my friend, is true healing. Living in a parasympathetic state means you're doing the things that you need to do for your body, for your life, but they keep you in a peaceful place. The spa life way. And spa means healing through water, which is ultimately flow. You want to have flow within your body, outside of your body, whatever's going on. You know, if some stress comes towards you, something stressful, you deal with the issue and then you let it go. If there's a crisis, you deal with it and you let it go. Sadness, you deal with it and you let it go. So you learn how to live your life in flow, just like water. And if you would like to use this health grid, it is in the description down below. Download it, start using it, and let me know how it goes. Some people have filled this out, planning their week, and they put it on the refrigerator, which is great because the whole family can see like what they're having for dinner or how intentional mom or dad is doing. And eventually your kids, they follow and they watch, and you're teaching them how to be healthy with intention and not be overwhelmed. So there you go. Can you believe that? You are part of a $6.8 trillion industry, and you are going to know how to navigate it, how to utilize it, and how to not be overwhelmed. Hope you enjoyed that video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.